I have a sincere question for the people that make this movie. Do y'all like butts? Because there's an awful lot of butts in this movie. Not complaining, they're nice to look at. It's just that it was just a lot. I am, of course, talking about the newest movie, The Ugly Stepsister. This is a Norwegian film directed by Emily Blichfeldt. My apologies. And this movie basically follows the story of Cinderella. However, we are at the point of view from the ugly stepsister, trying everything and anything that she can in order to marry the famous prince. When I say that she is willing to do anything, I mean anything. This movie is a great representation, honestly, of what retelling of the same story with a twist can do. I'm just gonna say you need to take some notes. Making someone perfect is not relatable to you. Absolutely right, Disney. I just absolutely can relate to someone who's just amazing, fantastic, and beautiful at anything and everything that she does. Not gonna lie though, this movie does very heavily follow the inspiration from the Brothers Grimm tale and their version of the Cinderella story. If anyone hasn't checked out the Grimm fairy tales, please do. I'm not gonna lie, they are quite graphic, they are very gory, but personally, I absolutely love those stories, and the fact that we get a movie that is heavily inspired by it is just amazing. So I'm just gonna come off the bat, guys, and say that this movie is fantastic. This is my realm. I love the gore, the creepy storytelling, the folklore, the fairy tales, the costumes, everything. Just everything about this movie was everything that I wanted to see, and I am so pleased that I saw it in theaters, and I did see it in Norwegian with English subtitles. The basic premise of this story is beauty is pain, and kind of like what you are willing to do for beauty, but also for love. When you're following the ugly stepsister story, you are heavily convinced that she is in love with the prince. Every waking moment, every dream, every fantasy that she has about marrying the prince and being with him and looking beautiful in this beautiful blue gown. She's basically dreaming of being Cinderella herself. And yes, Cinderella is in this story as well. Again, we do follow the ugly stepsister perspective. There are some scenes that go into Cinderella's story a little bit, which I do appreciate. But this isn't her story. It's the ugly stepsister story. This young girl, she's just so enamored and so desperate that she's willing to do everything that she can. And unfortunately, she has someone in her family that's willing to go along with everything as well. And that's her mother. It is not helping the situation at all. The only person that doesn't do anything like that to the ugly stepsister is her other sister. She's actually quite left out in this movie, which is purposeful, because she is kind of like the bedrock in this movie. She's kind of like the audience in this movie, but we'll get to that in a little bit. When this story starts, it's just when it is announced by the castle that there will be a grand ball where the prince shall choose his bride. And of course, every single woman is invited and everyone starts to get ready. And the ugly stepsister takes immediate action. We see gory scenes with the doctor, which by the way, the doctor scenes and the gory scenes are fantastic. The prosthetic work is so good in this movie. We see things like breaking their noses and like doing stuff with, I don't even want to say too much because I really don't want to spoil it, but it is creepy as hell and amazing, and I loved it. We see her doing extreme things for her diet so as she gets thinner, but we also start seeing the very bad side effects of all the things that she's doing to herself for the sake of just getting the chance to get the prince to fall in love with her. I really appreciate that this movie doesn't back away from the fact that people really do think that the ugly stepsister is like the ugliest thing in the world. Even though from us, the audience, when we see her, she's perfectly a normal girl. There's nothing really wrong with her. She's not the most beautiful person in the world, but she's not exactly the most ugliest person either, which is why when she starts doing the things that she does, it's like, girl, why would you do this to yourself? I understand where she's coming from, so you kind of start feeling sorry for her. Oh, but it's so well done. Costumes look fantastic. So there's the main plot, the Cinderella plot going on. There's this ugly stepsister going on. And the ugly stepsister, she's going through classes to get better while also like following these crazy diets, visiting this doctor, doing all this kind of weird experiments. And the funniest thing about all of this is that the prince has no idea that this is going on. The prince is just going around lollygagging with his friends, minding his own business, and all these women are just literally dying just to meet him. It's kind of wild. Cinderella is also quite flawed, and she's not exactly thrilled to marry the prince, which I actually appreciate. They didn't make her into this perfect being that's just gonna get happily ever after. No, she clearly doesn't love the prince, but understand that under her situation, this is probably the best thing for her. Typical Cinderella, you know, she gets the dress and the pumpkin carriage and all that kind of stuff. But again, focusing on the ugly stepsister, we start seeing the effects that all the things that she's done to herself is having to her, not just physically, but mentally as well. The cinematography also does a lot of fun stuff for that, so it kind of makes you feel like, wow, we're going crazy along with her. She starts to isolate herself a lot of choreography in this film, and it doesn't get enough credit for it. It should. The choreography is fantastic. Again, costume design, set design, everything was fantastic. Cinematography, editing, acting was superb. The main actress playing this character was absolutely fantastic. And I will say one thing. If there's a scene where it kind of transitions from her looking like the ugly stepsister to her looking like a, you know, thinner version of the ugly stepsister, I'm gonna say if that actually happened in real life and that actress actually lost the amount of weight or gained it for the movie, that is impressive, because the transformation is honestly insane and very visible in the movie. And if the actress actually put herself through that, I mean, kudos for her. I mean, that she doesn't have to do that, and that's crazy that she did. But I need to stop talking about this movie because otherwise I'm gonna start getting into spoilers. But overall, man, I think this is a great movie. This is all gore, Brothers Grimm fairy tales. You know, it's not your typical Cinderella story. The characters are not perfect. So I definitely will be giving this movie an 8 out of 10. I will say it's definitely closer to a 9 than a 7. The only reason that I'm giving this movie that number is for one thing and one thing only, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys. In Act 2, there is a very, oh my god. I mean, okay. So it just comes out of nowhere. I was just sitting there minding my own business, and then all of a sudden, a very graphic fornication scene pops on screen. And it is graphic. I mean, everything is shown. And I mean everything. I mean, the petunia and the chickadees. It was so uncomfortable. Oh my god. Thank god that I actually went in a pretty like early showing, so there wasn't a lot of people in the theater, but there were still some, enough to make me uncomfortable. You need to prepare me for something. I was just really not prepared. It literally just comes out of nowhere and slaps you in the face. And I dropped it down to an 8 out of 10. It was just too much. It was a little bit too much. It was a little bit too ridiculous. Anyone that watches the movie will know exactly what I'm talking about. I am not even playing nor exaggerating. Just go watch the movie. I highly recommend. Oh my god, this is a great movie. Highly recommend. It's unfortunate, I don't think a lot of people are gonna see it, which is unfortunate. But if you can't see it, check it out. Anyway guys, those are my thoughts. What are yours? Leave a like and subscribe, and I will see y'all for the next one. Bye!